YouTube, welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for a fragrance review today. Today we're going to be taking a look at a fragrance from the house of Rochas, and it is the original 1949 Moustache Eau de Toilette. So as usual, what we'll do is we'll break down the fragrance by taking a look at its bottle and box presentation. Then I'm going to talk about the fragrance's notes. Then I'll talk about the fragrance's performance on my skin. And then I'm going to give it my overall thoughts and, of course, my overall rating. But before we get started, I just want to say, if you're new to this channel and you like what you see or you take anything of value from the videos that I make sure to give the channel your subscription and like and comment. I love all the interaction with you. And of course, if you have an Instagram and you'd like to, go ahead and follow the new Scents of South Jersey Instagram page. You can see pictures of fragrances from my collection and news and updates about the channel. But anyway, guys, let's get started. All right, guys, let's take a look at the presentation for Moustache by Rochas. So take a look at the box here. This one's pretty easy because the back is identical to the side that you can see. Again, you can see Moustache there at the top, original 1949 Rochas Paris. It's got this pinstripe pattern to it. On the bottom, it says the bottle's concentration. It's an eau de toilette, and then it is a 125 ml, so 4.1 fluid ounce on the top. You got their gold emblem there with some more pinstripe. On the bottom, you got your barcode and serial number and some brand information. And on the sides, it wraps around with that red wraparound ribbon looking design there all the way around the box. The bottle is really cool. This is a nice heavy duty bottle, kind of rigid glass, thick glass. You can see the big glass base there again. Moustache, original 1949 there. Nothing else much going on the bottle. You got a nice cap. You can see that it's nice and gold. It's heavy, it's metal, but there is some plastic inside and a gold atomizer. The distribution on this one is actually really good. It's a really, really powerful sprayer, so I really like that. And then on the bottom, you've got a sticker with, I believe, the batch code again. So pretty nice looking presentation for this fragrance. So let's talk about the notes from Moustache. So pretty simple breakdown for notes for this fragrance. In the top, you have bergamot and lemon, and that's it. And then in the middle, you have lavender, neroli, and violet. So some floral notes there. And then in the base, you have patchouli, moss, and white musk. So the performance from Moustache by Rochas. So I've had a good and bad experience when it comes to performance with this fragrance. So at normal application, and what I mean by that is, say 3 or 4 sprays for this fragrance, the performance is mediocre at best. So I'd say it lasts maybe a projection wise about 20 minutes, and then it's pretty much a skin scent, and I'm getting maybe an hour and a half maximum. It's like a couple notches above 4711 status. So performance on this is not that good. But when I do a heavy application, and I'm talking a lot of sprays on my skin and my clothes, I get about 5 hours, and that's the best I've gotten from this fragrance. So, and then the projection's 45 minutes. It's going to leave a decent sillage trail, and then in the middle of the fragrance's life cycle, it's probably going to be about, I'd say, a 1 foot scent bubble, and then it'll be a skin scent from there. It will linger on your clothes a little bit. I have been getting whiffs of it much later in the day since I've been wearing it, but I'm talking heavy application will get you there with this fragrance, and it's nice that you have a lot of it, and it's not an expensive scent either. All right, so my overall thoughts on original 1949 Moustache by Rochas, I have sort of mixed feelings. I would say definitely when I first got it, I've had it now for about a month, I was initially disappointed. I was initially disappointed because I sprayed it on and I was reading the reviews, and it's a old school gentleman's barbershop vibe, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's got a cool name. The bottle looks cool. Everything's kind of lining up for it to be like a knockout scent for me. And I sprayed it on, and you get hit with lemon, citrus and lemon, and then the performance died out so quickly it went away, and I'm like, oh, not again. I hope I didn't order another just inexpensive citrus fragrance that lasts just a little bit of time. There's not much more to it. All I'm getting is the citrus, and it was gone. So I put the fragrance down and I didn't really mess with it for a while. And then I said, well, let me give it another shot, because again, you got to wear things a couple of times. But the second time around, in the days that I was wearing it, I applied it heavily. I'm talking 10 to 15 to sometimes probably 20 sprays. I just kept hitting the trigger because I definitely put a decent dent in it for it being a relatively new bottle for my collection. And once I did that, I had it on my clothes, I had it on my skin, and at first it was like overwhelming, like it almost burned my nostrils because there was so much citrus and lemon, and it's like a really tart citrus that you get off the bat. But it lasted a lot longer on me. And then I started to get hints of the lavender. Then I got the lemon, powdery lemon drop candy with the musk in there. The most dominant notes in this fragrance are absolutely the top notes, the citrus, but then the powder and musk really drive home that gentleman's barbershop scent, that vibe that it gives you, like an old school, like you get you know, the talcum powder and then the aftershave splash. I almost wish they had this in a splash bottle, so I know I would apply a lot of it, or at least maybe an aftershave to go along with it. They might not. I know this is like a 2018 release. A re-release, I should say, of what they had initially, and this is the Eau de Toilette. They do have an Eau de Parfum, and then they have an Eau de Toilette Concentré, but I've never tried either of those, so I'm only basing my opinion on this one. But I really do started to like it, and once I got the full experience, I said this stuff is quite nice. I actually enjoyed it. I think it's extremely versatile because it's a soft fragrance. It's not a beast mode by any means. It's definitely masculine, but like gentleman, old school masculine. It's not like Koros or Paco Rabanne masculine, because it doesn't have that sharp or that animalic note at all. It's really got, what makes it masculine is that powdery, that musk. It sort of reminds me of like a Royal Copenhagen a little bit, maybe without the heavier floral notes. Not that powdery because the citrus. This is probably a good, cheaper alternative to an Acqua di Parma Colonia. Acqua di Parma Colonia is light years ahead of this one in my opinion, but this is definitely a cheaper alternative if you don't want to spend that money. I think I got this one for around $26 on Fragrance X. The 2.5 ounce bottle was $20, so I said, what the heck, let me get this one. I think age range for this is probably going to be late 30s and up. Would appreciate it a little bit more, maybe into mid 40s. It's casual, it's office safe, but it can be dressed up and formal if you want like a tame, masculine kind of gentleman scent, powdery lemon, musk. I really like the musk. That's really what saved this fragrance for me once I experienced it. But unfortunately, you just had to bathe in this stuff to really get there because the performance is not that great. And you know, it's probably best in the warmer months, and that's where it'll perform better. In the winter, it'll probably disappear quickly, although I think you could wear it all year round, really. But again, it's that musk that really saved it for me. That is what puts this in a masculine, and it gives that nice old school barbershop impression, which I'm always a huge fan of. All right, it's time for my rating of Moustache by Rochas. So let's go presentation. I love the presentation, so I'm going to weigh it heavily on the presentation. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I love the bottle, I like the box, but I like the heavy duty bottle. I think it's really nice, and I really like the atomizer too. It sprays out a lot, and it's like a good burst, and it shoots out far, so you know you can get a lot of fragrance from just a few sprays, although you have to spray a ton of it anyway. The performance is absolutely terrible for this one, so I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10, and then the scent is good. It's nothing groundbreaking though. There is definitely scents that I would opt for that I like better when it comes to the scent. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10, and I think it's being kind of generous. So overall for this one is a 5.5 out of 10. You could pass on it if you took what I said and you listened to it and you're like, yeah, it's another citrus fragrance. If you like that old school barbershop, get it. It's not expensive, but there are definitely some better options out there that I think, one of them being Acqua di Parma Colonia. Yes, it's gonna be more money, but the scent is just a lot better. This one's pretty good, and if you know, credit to the house, if they did something where, you know, in 2018 they released kind of an old school classic style fragrance, I give them credit for that, and I appreciate this scent for that reason. And again, you know, it's those notes that I got once I really sprayed this on that really saved it for me too. So 5.5 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think of this fragrance, what you think of the rating. Would you have scored it higher or lower? Do you like it? Do you hate it? I would love to hear from all of you. Please let me know in the comments section. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.